Good morning. We're on day 3 of Vacation Bible School. If you have been watching, you already know that we're talking about God's fruit, or the fruit of the Spirit. So remember day 1? Day 1 was the fruit of love, right? Day 2, we talked about 2 fruit. What were they? Joy and peace. And then today we're talking about patience and kindness. So again, we have 2. We don't have enough days to stretch them out to have 1 on every day. So what kind of fruit do you think we're going to try today? Have you been guessing? Today, this is our fruit. Does anyone know what this fruit is? That's right, it's a kiwi. Some of you maybe have had this kind of fruit before. This is a fruit that I really love. So on the outside, it's brown, and it's a little bit hairy. So if I rub it, I can actually rub little hairs off of it. So let me cut it open. What color do you think the inside's going to be? The inside of this one, you ready for it, is green. Isn't that cool? I already know I really like kiwi, so I am excited to eat this one. Have you ever tried kiwi? If not, now might be a good time. Look at this kiwi. So in the inside, you can see that there's little seeds all along the edge. It almost looks like a tiny piece of melon. This is a good one because it's so sweet. All right, so today I want you to have tons of fun learning about God's fruit, and we have 2 more days of fruit left. So tune in tomorrow and you'll learn about a new fruit that's a fruit that you eat, and also some more fruits of the Spirit. Bye.
All right, VBS, my name is Pastor Andrew Russell. We're going to get a little workout and sing some praise to God by Saved by Grace. So you follow me, what I do, okay? Here we go. Just clap your hands like this. Come on. When I be without your grace, I be lost without your grace. How can I live without your grace? The life that I have is by your grace. I am free. I'm forgiven. Come on, run the place. The cross at Calvary, you gave me life worth living. Now the chains are broken. I am saved by. Come on, y'all, just clap your hands. Love abounding, mercy founding. I am saved by grace. And what? And I have life, and it's only by your grace. You gotta spin around with your O's. Here we go. Spin the other way. Here we go. Where would I be without your grace? I know it be lost
I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. He is always there for us, he's good in every way. Pouring out his awesome love, he's good in every way. Fills us up with peace and joy, he's good in every way. Gives us all we need and more, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. He is always there for us, he's good in every way. Pouring out his awesome love, he's good in every way. Fills us up with peace and joy, he's good in every way. Gives us all we need and more, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. He's good in every way. He's good in every way.
Can you feel it in your heart, deep down in your soul? Let the love of God move you, change you, raise your eyes to see the one who gave you so much. Forever God, forever love. Praise the living God. He is here, he is real. Worship him together, worship him forever. Look at what he's done. He gave us all for us. And you feel it in your heart, deep down in your soul. Let the love of God move you, change you, raise your eyes to see the one who gave us all so much. Forever God, forever love. You will live forever, loving us forever. You will live forever. God, you are great. You will live forever, loving us forever. You will live forever. God, you are great. You will live forever, loving us forever. You will live forever. God, you are great. You will live forever, loving us forever. You will live forever. God, you are great. You feel it in the heart, deep down in your soul. Let the love of God move you, change you, raise your eyes to see the one who gave us all so much. Forever God, forever love.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law, and those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. Galatians 5:22 through 24.
Hello friends, so good to see you today. Yesterday we had quite the party. It was so exciting. I left some more decorations up just to remind us of the fun. Have you ever had a headache? You know when pressure builds in your noggin and it really kind of hurts and you can't really do anything, and sometimes it's hard to see because your eyes just hurt? That's a lot of pressure in your head. I always find taking a rest helps for those headaches. Sometimes pressure that we experience in our life doesn't make any sense, and other times pressure does make beautiful things. This here is called the Hope Diamond, this blue diamond here, and it's set in this necklace. Have you heard of the Hope Diamond? It's right here in our Natural History Museum in Washington, DC. It's so beautiful. You should check it out sometime. You know, the Hope Diamond isn't very large. It's really about the size of this little piece of glass. It's only about 1 inch across and less than 1 inch down. And it's only about 1/2 inch thick, so it's not very large. But in terms of diamond, it's ginormous. It's so big. It's about, if I remember correctly, maybe like 45 carats. That's a huge diamond. Do you know that diamonds are built under a lot of pressure? Carbon or coal is pressed and pressurized for a long time, about 100 miles down in our Earth, up to 2,000 degrees. It's been really hot around here lately, hasn't it? Yeah, like maybe 90 degrees, 100 degrees awesome, but 2,000 degrees. Whoa, that is so much heat. And then once this diamond is formed, say this is our diamond here, it pushes up from a volcano or other ways that the faults move and pushes these rocks that have been created, the diamonds, up so we find them. That's such a big process for such a small, precious rock. It takes a lot of patience for a diamond to be formed. You know, there's a story in the Bible about one king of Judah dealing with a lot of pressure. King Hezekiah, he was a good king. The Bible tells us that God was with Hezekiah. One time, God's people didn't keep the process that God had wanted them to for Passover. And knowing that this was against God's laws, Hezekiah prayed. He was really concerned that God was going to punish his people. He prayed for God's mercy. God heard and answered Hezekiah's prayer. God forgave his people. God praised God and had a major party to celebrate. That was a precious situation. Like this diamond. We're going to talk about some other precious situations. Do you like popcorn? I love popcorn. Hold on, I got my popcorn for you. Popcorn. Delicious. So good. Did you know there's a lot of different corn made for popcorn? There are different types of kernels. I got some kernels here to show you. Watch this. Look at the different sizes in these kernels. I got a teeny one here and a big one. You ready? Whoa. Look at these kernels. See, one's big and one's small. The big popcorn kernels make ones like this. Look at this big kernel, this big pop. Check it out. From this little kernel, all of that goes in there. The pressure builds of air and it pops out. Now this is, I gotta show you my favorite one I found. In this bag of popcorn. Look at this one. This is one piece of popcorn. And look at me, like a crown. Isn't that interesting? So many different pops of pops. And you can buy different kernels for different pops. There's something called a mushroom pop. It's like what you find like in caramel corn, the big round ball ones without the little arms here coming down. These crown ones are interesting to me. I've never seen them. Oh, this one looks really good, like a crown one. Look at that. One kernel. Hello, King Hezekiah. Popcorn, a pressure situation. turned into something beautiful. Later, during Hezekiah's time as the king of Judah, I'm going to show you our kingdom while I tell you the story. There was another king of the surrounding areas called of the Assyrians. The Assyrians were taking over all the countries, taking over all the cities, knocking down their walls, making it so nobody could live there, wanting to scare all the people of the countries and of the cities. And so while they were the peoples of God's people, I'm going to switch this one actually, saw this other king coming, Hezekiah said, we have to make a plan. Let's make it so this other bad king can't get us. And so they wanted to keep him from invading their city, right? So we'll say this is King Hezekiah. He said, set up guards all around the city, but also dry out the water so that the evil king, the bad king, can't get inside the city. And so they can't have water to drink. Hezekiah told his people to be strong and courageous and to trust in the Lord. Ooh, that's a pressure situation. God helped them though. Let me show you a way that they were shown a pressure situation. Do you like marshmallows? I love them. Marshmallows, you know, can squeeze under pressure. You ready? Let's try this one. We squeeze it. Is it going to keep its shape or not? Oh, it does. Look at that. I squeezed it. The pressure changed it. What if we press it again? Oh, it's coming apart, isn't it? The pressure sometimes makes us to feel like it's going to break, like we can't handle it anymore. Sometimes we can't. Let's see what happened with Hezekiah in this next situation. The Assyrian king sent a message to Judah and to King Hezekiah. He sent a messenger with a message, right? So here's my messenger. I think we've seen you before, Dolly. So the messenger said, who do you think you are? This king that you have, he's going to lead you astray. He doesn't care about you knowing God. No, and have you seen this other country destroy? Well, their God didn't save them. You're pretty rotten. You think your city's going to go down. Your God's not going to help you out. Now, are you scared yet? Ha ha ha. Well, keep going. Whoa. That's not a very nice dolly. Nor messenger. God's people. Do you think they were afraid? Was that a pressure situation? It was a pressure situation. Like that marshmallow. They just pushed. They had to push and they were pulled and they were torn. What are they going to do? Well, God was faithful. God sent an angel to destroy all the enemies. Bye-bye, enemies. Israel had cried out for help for God, and he helped them. In a pressure situation, God was faithful to them. You know, the land of Judah was at peace. But at that time, Hezekiah became very, very ill. He prayed and he prayed hard, and he didn't want to die. King Hezekiah asked God to let him live, to be kind to him. God said he would be kind. He gave him 15 more years of life. Whoa, isn't it amazing? It is amazing. That is a lot of pressure, isn't it? When we ask God to not let us die and to make us well. I have another pressure here. You see this one? A lemon. Lemonade. What happens when we squeeze a lemon when that pressure builds? I'm sure you've seen it, right? I have another lemon here. I cut it. And when we press a lemon, I got juice squirting all over the place. Can you see it? But you see the drips coming out. Check that out. The lemon juice comes out. What do you like to make with lemon juice? Maybe your mom make a lemon pie or lemon bars, or we like lemonade at our house. The pressure builds and squeezes out the juice. When pressure happens in our life, things are exposed. How we really are inside shows in those pressure situations. But this is what I really think is interesting. That in these pressure situations, our lives change, right? Who we are shows up. Hezekiah changed. He trusted God. He asked for help. He needed mercy. He really knew things needed to change in his world. He trusted more. At the end of his life, he got a little proud. But here's what happened also in those pressure situations. God never changed. He never changed in how patient he was and how kind he was. When his people didn't follow the laws, he was slow to anger. He was patient with them. He didn't punish them straight away. when God provided time for them to correct their actions, to make it right for the Passover celebration. And when the Assyrian king was unkind to God's people, he helped them stand under the pressure to trust him more. Whoa. And then when Hezekiah was sick, God healed him. Being patient means we continue the same during pressure situations. When things don't seem to be going right, are we constant, or do we change, and do we act a different way, or do we make things not happen, think to go a different direction than what they should be going? God loved his people and continued on when things got tough to help them, to love them, and to guide them in those pressure situations that they were facing. He never changed. God was also kind to Hezekiah and his people. God helped him. Kindness means being aware of someone else's feelings and truly wanting the best for them and trying to make that happen. Wanting others' happiness and acting on that is what kindness is. When you act on that kindness, to want someone's happiness. Oh man, that's so big. God wanted happiness for Hezekiah when his city was under attack. He wanted to be safe. He wanted to be able to trust. He wanted to worship God. And then when he was sick and when he was worshiping, God was there and wanted him to be able to glorify God. God worked it out for him. Beautiful things can happen when pressure is applied. We see it all the time. We see it in the diamond. We see it in Hezekiah. We see it in the popcorn. I love popcorn. Hezekiah's faith increased and his trust in God expanded in those pressure situations. You and I can be made more beautiful through the pressure when it builds too. It depends on how we let the Spirit's fruit grow. When a brother or sister frustrates us, we can be patient in our response or not, because I get out of here. Or when Dad calls us to make dinner, when our teacher needs us to quiet down, or when God calls in our heart to trust and follow him. That's when that kindness and patience shows. How do we react? That pressure that comes to us, how do we respond in it? God helps us to be patient and kind when things are going our way. He promises to help us be happy for other people. He calls to you and I to believe his promises, to obey him, and to leave the results to him. That is so hard, my friends. But just like God makes a diamond to form from coal, which is being pressed and heated to an extreme, with God in our life, he makes amazing things happen, and he helps us be patient and kind. That is a good God we serve. Our Bible verse today, friends, Galatians 5:22-26. Are you ready? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. And those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and its desires. If we live by the Spirit, let us also keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another. That's some good news. It's been so good talking with you today about some pressure. I'm going to go eat some popcorn because I love it. And maybe some marshmallows. Yay. See you next time, friends.
All right, friends. Man, today's focused fruit, patience and kindness. Our craft today is going to require a little bit of patience. It might take a long time to make today's craft. So let's find out, what are we going to make that takes so long? Now, today we're going to make some fruit bowls, or some of you might make some fruit baskets. The bowl takes a lot of patience. Check this out. It's made of yarn all the way around, and it is a bowl that you can place things in, and you have to put yarn learning how to weave in and out and in and out. And then it can sit in your room and you can fill it with all sorts of goodies. Or you can put it on the table and fill it with some fruit. So some friends might want to make this challenging craft, while some other friends might have fun making a craft that turns into a game. Some of you would love to make a little fruit basket, And inside there are some fruit. Are you guys ready to try out these two crafts? Okay, we're going to start with the fruit basket craft. So for this craft, you need 2 paper plates. And they can have a design on the inside because we're going to use the plain side. Paper plates, some scissors, maybe some adult help too. Some scissors. You'll need a stapler or some tape. Some adult help might be good for that. And then you need a brown crayon. And I've got this jumbo crayon here. I'm going to peel some of the paper off. I've got this big jumbo brown crayon that's going to help me. Beautiful brown. And I'm going to color both paper plates, all of the white, this white side here, I'm going to color brown. You guys want to do that with me? All right. Brown crayon, paper plate, go. Color, 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 color. Hey, friend, do you want to help me color the other paper plate? Come on over. I've got a friend here. And I believe I have another brown. Can you take this and start coloring as much of that brown as you can? I have the brown right here. Ready? Go. Just color. It's okay if it flattens. You can push it back out. We're going to color, 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 color. Woo! Color, 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 color. Get it all colored. Because we're going to make a basket. And sometimes baskets are brown. So we're going to make this paper plate look more like a fruit basket. How many of you have ever seen someone carry fruit in a basket? Or how many of you have fruit displayed in a basket maybe at your home? We do. We have fruit displayed in a basket in our home. But it gets eaten pretty quickly. All right, so we are coloring in our paper plate. All right, woo! My goodness, maybe you have some brown paint and you want to paint your paper plate. You could do that. Or maybe you have markers and you want to use your markers or colored pencils. Use whatever brown. Maybe you want your paper basket to be a color other than brown, and that's fine too. All right, thank you. Good, so we've got it all colored in brown. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put them together. Oh, not yet. First we need to use our scissors, and we're going to put a little hole. Do you remember how my original basket, oh thank you, my original basket is here, and it has a hole in there, right? Like a handle so we can carry it. So we're going to cut out a little slit on both paper plates. And a fun way to do that, if the adults are watching, is to kind of just fold the plate in half a little bit, and we're going to kind of just put a little hole right there. And then we are going to cut out just a little bit of the paper plate, just halfway. I am cutting to there. It's okay, I will help you cut.
I cut it from this side.
All right, and then we will have half of it out. So we need to do the same thing. Can I show them on this one? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to just kind of puncture it a little bit. Helps. There we go. And then I'm going to cut out on this side the same thing, right down the middle, all the way around the handle, halfway. All right, and then we can probably tear a little piece off. So now both of them look the same, right? We're going to attach them. Now this is where you can use a stapler. Yes, thank you. Or if you don't have a stapler, you could use tape. My tape has walked away from the table. All right.
Can I do it?
Can you hold it for me while and you want to help me? Okay, put your hands over my hands and staple.
I already know how to do it.
Okay. And we're just going to go all the way around the basket.
Can I just do it?
Yep, can you finish it for me? While he's finishing stapling the outside of the basket, you can take paper. You can take white paper or different colors construction paper, and you can start drawing some fruit. Now here is the fruit that I had in mind. Check it out. I made an apple, and I wrote the word peace on it. And I made a banana, and I wrote patience. And I made some grapes on one side, and on the other side, I wrote kindness. And then I have an orange that says love, and another orange that says joy. And I can take my fruit, and I can put them in my basket. Ooh, another fun thing that we put in our basket is we wrote God's fruit for you. That's what our VBS is all about this week. God's fruit for you. God's fruit for you. But here's where the game part comes in. Are you ready for this? So you play the game by taking those fruit that you made and have someone hide the fruit around the house. Find a special place to hide them, and then you can set a timer, or you can take as long as you want, and take your basket, walk around the house, and try to find the fruit. When you find them, read the word, read the fruit of the Spirit on each fruit, and stick it inside your basket. So not only do you have a fun craft, you also have a fun game. I can't wait to hear if you played this game. All right, friends, now we're going to move on to our more difficult craft. This one requires a lot of patience. Do you want to know how long it took me to make this bowl? It took me like almost 30 minutes because I was weaving and weaving and weaving, but I knew that I would have something beautiful when I was done. And I thought about, as I was weaving, every time I would weave, I would say one of the fruit of the Spirit. I would say love, joy, peace, patience. And that reminded me that God is so good, and He has shown us these great fruit that we can even show others. So, are you guys ready to try this craft with me as well? All right, you're going to need yarn and a paper plate and some scissors. Oh, and a pencil too. Are you ready? Okay, grab those, push pause, and grab those supplies. One paper plate, yarn, scissors, and a pencil. See you in a sec. On your paper plate, you need to create 9 lines. Now, I'm going to use a purple marker just so that you see it, but this is where you could use your pencil. And you need to make 9 lines around the outside of the paper plate. So look at my example as I go. Here we go. I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to go right to that sort of center line right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I made 9 lines. 9 lines. Do you see that? 9 lines. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use my party hat. The bottom of my party hat, maybe you have something round. You want it to be smaller than the inside of the plate, okay? You want it to be smaller than the inside circle of the plate. So then I am going to trace a circle around. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Trace my circle around. That's not a perfect circle. That's okay. And now I'm just going to extend my lines down to the circle. I'm just going to extend my lines down to the circle. See that? I'm just making them meet the circle that I just drew. Okay? All right, and now that I have them all the way down, now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the purple lines until I get right to that purple circle. And I'm just going to go all the way around. This is the next step. Just cut the lines all the way to that purple circle in the center. Okay, if you're not right perfectly on the purple lines, we're going to do some trimming in a minute, but I'm just going to that purple circle in the middle. Okay, do you see that? Now, this part is a little tricky, but what you want to do is you want to kind of trim the sides. Okay, so here's what I mean by trim the sides. We don't want them to touch up here. See how the edges touch? We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of trim it on the sides like this so that there's a little bit more like a triangle space between it. Do you see that? So I'm just trimming the sides of each of those little flaps so that there's a little bit more of a triangle space between it so they're not touching. Okay, and then just keep going. You can pause the video to keep going. You could follow along with me. One of my kids is following along with me as I do this right now. How's it going over there, Lincoln?
Good.
Excellent. And we're cutting. And you just keep going all the way around. Woo. All right. And then once you have, they're kind of like making triangles, right? That's sort of what it is. You just want to cut on each side so that there's a little bit more of like a triangle between each flap. All right, and then, so you'll have something that looks a little bit more like that, where there's these triangle spaces. And then you're just gonna fold them up on that circle that you drew. Okay, you're just gonna fold each one up onto that circle. You want them to kind of all be equal. All right, and now they're all folded on that circle, so they're folded up like a bowl. Okay. All right, and that's when you can kind of go in, and I see that some of mine are still kind of touching. You can go in and trim them a little bit more if you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. No perfection here, okay? So that's what you want. You want to make sure that you've trimmed them and that there is a little bit of space in between. All right, so here's mine again. Okay, then you'll take your yarn. If you have yarn in your house, fantastic. The skinnier the yarn, the more patient you'll need to be because it will take a little longer with thinner yarn. If you have thick yarn, it won't take as long. Now, I'm going to get us started, and then I'll show you the finished. This is the finished when you're all done. To get started, you find the end of your yarn, and you just find one of the spots to start, and you put it on the inside. So here we go. See? It's on the inside. I'm just going to kind of hold it there, and then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start weaving. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. I'm just going all the way, and I'm weaving in and out, and in and out. And then now I'm starting over, and now it's going to be the opposite, in and out. And I just keep going, in and out, and in and out. All the way around. And sometimes I'm holding mine up. It's hard to do holding up. You'll put it down on the table. And you just keep going in and out and in and out like you're weaving, right? In and out. And as you go, you'll see that it gets higher and higher each time you go. So I've done this about 3 times. And now I'll show you what I have. So see my yarn. So right now, it doesn't look like much, does it? But as you keep weaving in and out and in and out and in and out all the way around, it will turn out like this. And when you get about this much paper at the end, okay, you'll get a little bit of paper at the end. You can trim it, you can fold it, but it will all stay together, and then you just kind of tuck the string in when you're done. But it will all stay up like this because you've been weaving it in and out and in and out. So you take this, you keep weaving in and out and in and out. I'll keep going to show you. See, in and out and in and out. In, and we'll just keep going, and it'll just land on top of it. And if you keep going, keep going. I'm not going to make the video keep going and going. We'll be on this video for a long time. But you have to show patience. Sometimes it gets frustrating because it takes so long, but if you show patience, what an amazing craft you'll have at the end. And it'll turn into this. So boys and girls, have fun making your bowls. I can't wait to see how they turn out. All right, friends, see you later.
It's been such a sweet time learning today with you about God's patience and kindness. We cannot wait to learn about more of God's fruit with you tomorrow. You are loved, you are cared for, you are worth being rescued, and Jesus came to rescue you, which is amazing news. We'll see you tomorrow.